Hi, hello, happy whatever day this is, because it's taken me longer to film this June reset than I thought, but for this little segment I thought we would stay in front of my thriller shelf and film my TBR for June, as well as I just think should I do my May wrap up as well to make things easier, and then it's all in one go, all in one place, easy peasy, lemon squeezy. Okay, let me get the books together and then we'll reconvene here. Okay, I think I'm pretty much ready for this part of the clip. I thought I'd start with my May wrap-up. As I was saying, I am going to talk you through the books that I read in May. There aren't very many, so this will be quite quick, and then we'll go through a somewhat ambitious June TBR, depending on how you want to view it. We'll start off right at the beginning of the month. I read If You Had Been With Me by Laura Nowlin. This is first book, or has a companion book that just came out recently, and I got the book from Penguin Random House, so in order to read the one I got, I thought I would need to read the very first one, which is If You Had Been With Me. This had a completely different cover from when it was originally published. I am giving this 3.5 stars. I thought it was okay. It definitely had some like emotional sentiment moments, but it did definitely feel like a 2013 novel, in the sense that, you know, the 16-year-old main character was, I think her name was Autumn or Summer or something. It's just so like vapid, so obsessed with herself and looking cool, but also not too cool to be part of the cool kids. And I mean, obviously I can understand how some kids or how some teenagers could act like that, but I felt like it was such a 2013 view of the world, which makes sense because that's when it was written. Then I read Serpent and the Wings of Night by Carissa Broadbent. Once again, I do know that there is some problematic aspects with the author. I read this, I gave this 4 stars. I'm not going to stick too long on this, but I did read this. I will be continuing on with the series as like a personal enjoyment. I then read A Soul to Keep by Opal Rain. I thought I would pick up this Dustwalker book because I was interested to see what it was all like, and it's safe to say I enjoyed it somewhat. I think I'm going to give it like 3.75 stars. It was really enjoyable for what it was. I did feel like the pacing of the story was a bit off, because you can't take this long-winded way to learn everything about the world, and then like the action-esque part of the plot is like this big. Like the actual like proper story part of it is this big. I am keen to continue the series. I don't know when. I will probably be reading these on Kindle Unlimited as and when I feel the need. Then another Kindle Unlimited book I read was Ballad of Sea and Sky. The reason why I read this, and this book is by Melleny Elliott, is because the Book Cove was doing a special edition of the book this month. I wasn't sure whether or not I wanted to pick it up, and initially I was going to read all the Chaos and Constellations, all the Constellations and Chaos, whatever order it is, but I'd already bought that, so I was like, you know what, I've already spent the money, I may as well read a little bit ahead and see if I would like a special edition of Ballad of Sea and Sky. And I was kind of jostling between whether or not I did want, because I enjoyed the story and I will read the second book, but I don't think enough to have a physical at all. I could change my mind in the future, but at the very present moment I'm not gonna buy the physicals. This one is probably also going to be about a 3.75. Like, it was fun, it was enjoyable, I had a great time. I will be continuing, but I won't be buying physically. Then I got my May Locked Library, which was Moonstone by Laura Purcell. I thought I would read it because it's quite short, it's only like 270 pages long. I got about halfway, I've DNF'd it. I will be getting rid of this because it just doesn't interest me. It wasn't as I expected, and so I see no need to keep this edition. I already have a proof as well, so there's no need for me to keep a very nice edition when I think someone else might be more than happy to have it. And of course, the very last book I read in May was Empire. I made my way through the entirety of Empire the Vampire throughout the entirety of May, basically, and I finished it, I read it, I enjoyed it. I am definitely excited to pick up Empire of Damp now. I really liked the way the story unfolded, and I have nothing but good things to say about this book. I am probably going to rate it a 5 because I don't fault it. The pace at which I read was more my own than the book's fault. And yeah, I don't know, like, this was just a great reading experience in general, so I have no qualms or questions, and I'm just excited to continue. So I just thought I would show you my June TBR spread, which is this one over here. I'm going to tell you all the books that I want to read in June, but it's pretty much similar to my May TBR because I didn't get through everything that I wanted to, so we're gonna jump into it right now. Some of them are in like protective sleeves, so I'm just gonna pop the cover. I'm gonna hold the book and pop the cover on the alternative side. So I am currently still reading the Bones season and I am hoping to finish it this week. I've fallen a bit behind, I won't lie. I'm about 12 chapters behind, but I don't mind because I will easily catch up and I won't have any problem. I'm really excited. I'm currently debating on whether or not I should read the mime order next month, being July. We'll see. I have to still order it. It's still a give and take sort of moment. I haven't decided, but I do want to continue on with the series. This is my reread of it in any case. I've already tabbed it and I'm continuing with the tabbing and underlining and annotating and stuff. Really happy, glad to continue, cannot wait. Then I'm also currently reading The Familiar. I am about halfway. I was hoping to actually finish it yesterday, which was the 2nd of June, and I surmise that I might finish it today. I'm really enjoying where the story is going so far in terms of my like thoughts. Everyone's described this book as very mid for Leigh Bardugo, but I have to disagree. I'm enjoying it for what it is, and I can kind of see how this is still up her alley. It is different from the Alex Stone series 100%, but in a very cool, fresh, different way, and I'm enjoying it, so I can't wait to continue. Everything just in protective sleeves. The next book I have is Felon Folk. This was also on my TBR for May. I didn't get to it. In fact, it was in my TBR for April as well. Yeah, I'm excited to get to it. I don't know when. I'm hoping between this week or next week. I will read it, enjoy it. I'm not going to tell you too much, but I don't even know what half these books are about. I'm just here to enjoy them. Then as we're filming this, I'm actually about to start this book, which is Long Live Evil. This is another book that is on my TBR. I actually got given this as proof, and I said I would give a review or feedback on it, and this just sounds so cool. Our main character ends up dying in the real world and makes a wish to exist in her favorite fictional world, and she does, but the twist is that she ends up being the villain. And so she doesn't think that's fair, and she actually just wants better for herself, and why not? So she and the rest of the villains band together to create their own happy ever after. And I'm excited to read this one. I also have Seven Faceless Saints, which has also been on my TBR since April. I am hoping to start it also this week. I don't know, like I did schedule things out, but I don't 100% remember, but this is on my TBR. This has caught my eye since last year before it even came out. I follow the author MK Lub quite religiously, like not religiously, but like I do follow her on Instagram and I do enjoy her content, so I really am excited to pick this one up. The Disciple of Chaos is coming out this year, so I'm hoping to read this by then, and hopefully Fairy League will do another special edition of it. Then the next book I'm also starting today is When the Moon Hatched by Sarah A. Parker. This is obviously the year of the dragon, and so we have a lot of dragon-like books coming out, and I can't wait to pick it up. Actually, this looks so much bigger than what I thought it would be. Yeah, I'm gonna be reading this today. I can't wait. I'm hoping it pans out in a good way because I've already purchased the June Locked Library, which is this book, in case you're curious. Pretty much flying through these because there's not much else to say. I still have Blood and Honey on my TBR. Same with 19 Steps by Millie Bobby Brown. Echoes by Vita Duprius is also on here. I'm going to be reading this one slow this month because it's Afrikaans, and so it's going to be one that I'm probably going to be reading for a while, but progress will be progress as long as I read some of it. I then forgot to include this in my May TBR, and this is Divine Rivals by Rebecca Ross. This is the Owl Crate special edition. Yeah, I've been wanting to do a reread of this for a while now. I initially read it and didn't annotate it at all, and now I want to read and annotate and get to Ruthless Vows, which has also been on my TBR since it released. So I'm excited to pick this one up again. It will be fun to do a reread now with like fresh eyes. And I also think my opinion will be a bit different because I'd expected something different when I first read Divine Rivals, and now that I kind of know the story, I'm hoping I will enjoy it a lot more. I just have 2 books to mention in addition to this little TBR, and the first one is Court of Vines and Vipers. This was also in last month's TBR. A lot of repeats, I know, I'm sorry, but life just gets in the way. And then the one which is also new is A Queen This Fierce and Deadly by Stasia Stark. I'm currently waiting for my physical copy to arrive from Amazon South Africa Open, and they had a really good deal on books, some of them were up to like 50% off, which is such a good deal. This was a pre-order. It worked a little bit differently than I remember pre-orders working overseas. Really excited to get this. I'm probably gonna get it this week, I don't know, but this is gonna be towards the middle / second half of June. But that's my TBR and my wrap up, and next part is going to be a lot of b-roll because I am going to go through every book that I received in the month of May and add them to my cataloging system so they can go on the shelves. There's quite a few of them and it's embarrassingly large, but we'll go through them. I think some of them aren't actually for me, some of them I've like gotten on the behalf of some other people, and most of them have been gifted. I just wanna preface that most of them were gifted, so let's go through it, let's see, go from there. Okay, so I wanted to do a small little quick wrap up. You would have seen that I was actually busy fixing my shelves / reorganizing them, adding in the new books that I got. I've stopped because I've just come to the realization that it's not going to matter all too much in a bit because I might be moving with my partner obviously, so I don't want to put in all the work and all the effort of organizing when all my books are just going to go into boxes anyways and be moved probably within the next week or two. So I'm gonna hold off on this, and this is going to be the end of this reset, which has taken me a lot longer than what I thought it would. But yeah, I'm hoping to get this up by Monday. That's kind of where we are at the moment. We went and viewed a place, well, 2 places today, and we've settled on one, and we just need to get the application forms and then we'll fill them in. And yeah, hopefully it will be a start to a much better time, because at the moment we're not quite happy where we are at the moment, so it will be quite nice to have somewhere that's really bright, new, a bit different. There'll be a lot of garden space, a lot of privacy, and just a good old time, honestly. I'm looking forward to it. Yeah, that's kind of where we are. So if you got to this point, thank you. Sorry that it's a bit late, but I hope you enjoyed it. I'm going to be trying to do this a bit more. I will try and get the next one up earlier. One can only hope, but life has been a bit of a mess, a bit busy lately, and there's going to be a couple of changes. One of them, as I mentioned, was the moving, but there might be more changes, there might not be. It all depends on a couple of things. But thank you for sticking through with this with me, and I guess I will see you in the next one. So bye.